In some cases, you may need to add in what's been cropped out of the picture. Don't run ahead and do it unless you know you're going to need it, because, you know, a bottom of a shoe could be cropped out of your image, but I want to go over this just in case you do need to add pieces in. So the first thing is you need to add to the canvas. So up under image, you're going to add canvas size. And so you want to add to the bottom of the page. So if I click over here, it's pointing to where it's going to add. I have this at pixels, but I'm going to make it inches. And so I'm going to make the height of this, let's say 8 inches. So you see it's added more space down here. So to create the rest of this boot, I am going to use the clone stamp tool. And this is much too big, you see, so I'm going to go and make it smaller, and I'm going to make it harder. And so I can, that's too big still. I'm going to click on this edge. I want to get that nice curve, so I'm going to, the first thing, if you remember, you hold down the Option key to select the area you're going to. This is just showing the tool. This is holding down the Option key when you see that. So that is telling me where I'm going to select. So you can see when I pull away, it's selecting this part right here. So then I place, and then I push the button, and it's starting to copy. Now I realize I have the opacity set at 45. That's a holdover from the last time I used this tool. So now I've made it 100%, and I'm going in and filling this in, and I'm imagining what the shape of that boot would look like there. Now I need to go and grab some from here. So I've held down, you can see I'm going to hold down the Option key and select from here. And I go to the edge because I want to get that edge right there. I'll show you what happens if I don't. If I go here and I try to recreate it, see the way it's kind of fuzzy and odd. So sometimes if I click here, I can come down here and it captures that edge for me. So it's given me a little bit more than I need, so I can go and grab the eraser and round this off. So it's not perfect, but it is giving the illusion of the bottom of that foot. And you do want to, sometimes you have to guess what that foot would look like. You sort of pull back and say, oh, that doesn't look like the right shape. Maybe it would slant in a little at an edge like that. You know, as it's lifting off of the pavement. So I think I'm going to make it a little bit straighter there. And I think that is probably, I'm going to do Command Z. I took too much off. I think I want to make it a little straighter. I think that looks better. And now I've got some of the heel got accidentally wiped away here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click here to catch that. So see what that looks like there. I'm going to align it here and paste up here, and I can't go anymore. I've got to go back to grab some of the image, because at some point, let me show you down here, if I keep going, I run out of the image. So you can see where the little plus mark is. There's not enough image there, so I have to go back, reselect where I've started, and borrow some, and there I go. Okay, so then I have the same issue with the front of the toe here, so I'm going to grab here, and then you can see the image. So I'm going to align it where it hits the boot, and see if I keep going, see it goes in the wrong direction. So sometimes I have to fudge a little bit, but I think in this case I can just clean that up and it will look good enough. And then I don't need this here. I can get rid of this. So that cleaned that up a little bit. Okay. So one more thing that I want to show you is a little thing that I like to do to test. So I'm going to create a new layer, and you can create a new layer by hitting this little button and say plus, or you can go up to the hamburger and say new layer. Either way, it works. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this new layer is I'm going to drop it to the bottom below. I don't need this third one here. I can get rid of that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole layer, select all, and I am going to fill it, image, fill, with the color. So I have, what color do I have selected here? I'm just going to go in here, grab a red. Sorry, I was having trouble with the recording. So I've selected all, Command A, so you can see little dancing ants here. I can also use it by just going and dragging over this whole area. So I'm on the bottom layer, grab the whole thing. I've got red selected as my foreground color. So I'm going to go up to, not image, to edit and go to fill. I'm going to go and do foreground color 100% and say OK. So now what has happened is kind of strange. What's happened here is I have this layer set on layer burn, so I should have it set on normal. That's when I was playing with her hair, so sorry about that. Yours should be on normal, and so when you have it on normal, you see the woman silhouetted, and you can see this red background. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to look at this image and see how clean the background is. And when I have that black and white or gray and white, you can't see. So you can see this looks fine, but when I open this, you can see there's still some dirt in there. So sometimes putting this other layer with the background in there is helpful. And then I can go and get my, make this a little bit smaller, and I can go in here and clean up the details. And see the way I've got this little bit of a white edge in there. I can clean that up if it gets in the way, but it might not. This is sort of a low res image, but in the back of the coat here, we can see it doesn't look great. There's this little box of white here that I can clean up. And now I also want to check out her hair. So this was really hard to see how it looks. And you want to make sure it doesn't look like it's a helmet head. So what I'm doing is this white streak here, it probably is part of her hair, but you won't miss it if you don't see it. If I clean off this white tip here, you won't notice that. I'm going to zoom in here, clean off some of this fringe. So whatever you clean away, you often don't realize what strands of hair are missing, but if you do too much, it will be noticeable. So I'm going to go in here and make this a little bit smaller so that I can go in here and get some of those details. Sometimes you can also go and grab what am I trying to think of? I just blanked. Which tool am I looking for? It's not the eyedropper. To grab something that's similar. Well, I can, yeah, the eyedropper is grabbing the color. Why am I blanking on this? Magic wand, that's what it was. Sorry, the magic wand. So I can go and grab the magic wand and grab some of that white. So see the way it just grabbed that white, and then I hit delete. I can grab the white in there, hit delete, click here. That might be too much white, so if I go and I change the tolerance is how much that similar color it will accept. So I'm going to change my tolerance to 6. Unclick here, and you'll see when I grab it now, with the tolerance set much lower, it's grabbing little bits, so I can hold down the Shift key to grab little bits more if I need to, and then I hit delete, and I can unclick and go and use the magic wand as well. So I want to get rid of little white bits, and over around here on her hairline, what I probably want to do is to soften this a little bit. So I'm going to change the hardness to be softer so that I get a little bit of a fuzzy edge on here so she doesn't look like a total helmet head. And see the way you get this little white edge here? It's good to get rid of that because you will notice it perhaps depending on what the background is, but you're not going to miss it if it's not there. Okay. And I might delete some of that. Actually, this piece of hair here, I could probably just get rid of that and you wouldn't even know that it's missing now that I'm thinking about it. Get rid of this white edge here. So sometimes you can see it's like, where do you stop playing with it? I think this is probably good right there. And then I don't need this background anymore, so I get rid of that and I will save this image. Save as. I'm going to save it onto my computer. I have this folder here and I've actually already saved this, so it's gray fur coat PNG file. So I need to make sure this doesn't say Photoshop. It's not showing up here. I need to make sure that I can save it as a PNG. So I'm saving it. It's gone and made it a copy. I'm going to override that so I can delete the word copy and save. So I'm replacing this gray fur coat PNG. That's right there. Replace, and here I go. Okay. So for now, that's all the things I want you to do. You should have, as I can show you right here, I have a folder where I've silhouetted 2 women. You might want to do up to 4 different silhouetted images. And then for my Copenhagen images, I have quite a few different images, but what I do have are some scenes where I could put a person into the scene, more close up and not. I've got pictures where I've got these textures, like I might crop this woman out, but it might be cool to get these shutters to just get the texture of the area. This is lovely to get color. Here again, there's texture. And at one point, this might be some sort of little banner. I might stick somebody on the street here. Probably won't use this one, but I have this right here, this railing. I think this is a nice detail to show some of the details of the city. Some grand buildings. It might be nice. I might just use the top of that. But so I'm just starting to think about ways that I can hit little snippets, and I might want to put some food or some music or different things. And one of the things that I did grab a picture of too were bicycles, because, you know, I know that's really part of the life there. So you're gathering images and you're silhouetting some fashion, and that's what you're going to do for this week, and then start thinking about how you're going to combine these 4 pages together, and we'll talk about that next week. Have a lovely Thanksgiving. Get some rest, but also catch up on any work that you're missing. Okay? Bye-bye.